And we're live. I think we're live. I need to double check. Are we live? Okay. Yes, we are live. Haha. How's the audio? Alright. And we're live. I think we're live. I need to double check. Are we live? Okay. Alright. Hey. Yes, we are live. Haha. How's the audio? Alright. And we're live. I think we're live. I need to double check. Yes, we are. Alright. Bear with me, guys. It's the first time I've done this, so yeah. Alright. So this is going to be fun. We are taking the water block, the Alpha Cool German-made water block out of this GPU. And we're going to be putting a copper plate, that I got from the States, from a website called Cool My GPU. See if I can speak. Okay, so this is the graphic card, RTX 3080. This thing overheats like crazy. I can get my core to do around ambient temperature, which is about 30 degrees. A watch scenario, 30-31 a watch scenario. Memory, whether I'm doing 3D rendering or, I tested it up with mining as well, it runs up to 90 degrees. Obviously, without the water block, it would be worse. That's quite a big delta. I'm sure it is within spec for the memory for the GDDR6, but I don't like that. That's way too hot. Too much of a variant in temperature. So I'm not a fan of that. And because of that, I want to do something about it. So, I looked up online, I saw a few YouTube videos, people using this plate. Hopefully it works on my graphic card. We won't know yet. That's a Gigabyte Vision OC. This was the only water block I could find at the time, so hopefully it does work. Took it out of the rig right now. I have a MORAT 3 with 9 fans. So water cooling a 5900X, at most I get 45 degrees at most. Like my custom water cooling rig is pretty powerful. Unfortunately, GPU memory is getting too hot. And by too hot, I mean too hot for my liking. So we're going to attempt to replace this. Well, not so much replace it, just improve the temperatures of the memory with this plate. Alright. So, let me see what we can do. That's not what I want. What is this? This is just chat. Okay. So, gonna wait for a few people to jump on the call, because I have a few people that were supposed to just basically watch it with me, make sure I'm not doing anything stupid. Been doing work and stuff for quite a long time, so I'm sure I can figure it out. It's not rocket science, but I don't want to screw anything up, and my eyesight is completely red right now. So yeah. Well, let's see. Okay. This is going to be a long process, so I better start on it. Right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around, get the back blade out. I've got me some tools from work, so I should be fine for tools. Alright. I don't want to wait too long to do this because my eyesight just gets really bad after work and then I can't see anything. So we're going to start taking the screws out. Excuse me. Alright. It's not the best of light, I know, but this is what I've got. I don't have a massive lamp or a massive light source above me, so it'll have to do. Right, this is the back plate. Should come out fairly easy. There you go. Alright, I added some thermal paste to the back of it. Let me just move this over. Yep. So this is quite thick. This is quite a thick plate, right? I added some thermal pads to it. You can see how thick it is. Pretty thick. I'd probably say about, I don't know, that's probably 4 millimeters. Try to dissipate as much heat away from the memory, and obviously the VRMs here. So things like inductors and chokes don't get. I mean, even if they do get hot, they're quite happy. Don't quote me on this because I haven't checked the schematics, but I'm pretty sure they're quite happy running at 100 degrees plus. So that's not really the problem. The problem, even though the memory is rated to be able to run up more than 100 degrees, I don't like that it is, especially on water cooled. You would think when it's water cooled, the block should be able to cool the memory significantly, but for some reason it does not, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I don't know if this is going to be any good. Guys, give me 1 second. Okay. Alright. I'm not a media of it, so if you go anywhere you go to see. On my YouTube account. Like, just go DK, look me up, and I'll be able to see.
Okay, I'm gonna do that now on my phone and my Xbox.
Alright, cool. You can chat or whatever. Okay. I did not bring any. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I did not bring any alcohol to clean the thermal paste with, so that's going to be fun. Let's move this over here. Actually, I probably don't need to remove this because those were a pain to remove, actually. So. Okay. Sorry if I hit the mic. I don't know if you guys can hear me properly, but hopefully you can. So let's move that over there. Let's move this over here. And there is no screws in the back of the board whatsoever. Just the GPU itself. Okay, that's good. That's easy to remove then. Before I do so, just want to double check. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Alright. Just gonna grab some tissues. No make sure that you guys can hear me properly. Okay, good enough. Okay. Well, that comes off super easily. Whoa. Okay. That is quite a bit of thermal paste. That's the GPU. That's the water block.
Do you have calipers handy to just double check the pad size as well as the thickness of the copper plate?
What is that? I'm guessing that's like a type of ruler or something, or to check the thickness of it? Oh,
Yeah,
by the way,
it's
I'm on
a
Discord.
ruler that kind of has two ends where you can just put it together. I'll send a link in Discord.
Oh, I think I know what you mean. It's one of those scientific kind of like tweezer-like rulers that you can measure.
Yeah, so you can just double check the thickness.
I do not. I have one at work. I have a laser one at work, but I just completely forgot about it, to be honest. And
Fair.
to be honest, even I'm just trying it because I know this is like explicitly not set up to be. It's not really something that
Not formally supported.
Yeah, it's probably not something designed to be used on water blocks per se. So I was thinking, well, if it works, great. If it doesn't, having the ruler is not going to not prevent me from doing it, but it's not going to make me stop. It's gonna,
That's fair. That's fair.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's obviously I'm doing things out of spec, so So
something I would suggest that you do though is if you have any spare pads to put it on the BGA pad. Do you see at the very top of your card? There's the two empty BGA pads where the memory could go.
Yep.
That way, that you'll have better adhesion or better. It'll lay flat.
I just noticed something worrying. This is not a flat surface for the memory. Don't think that's going to sit well with the copper plate, actually.
I just line up the copper plate on one of those and see if they look about the same thickness.
Yeah, I'm worried that once I place the actual copper, I shouldn't be touching it, but the copper is going to, in most coolers, it's probably designed for both the base of the core and the actual memory to be flat, right?
It is.
In most coolers, yeah. So this is recent for a significant, it's recent for by about 2-3 millimeters. It's pretty bad. So I don't know if that's probably going to interfere quite a bit.
If you look at the thickness of one of the pads and just put it on the plate, the copper plate, and just kind of eyeball it. Do they look about the same?
I think so, actually. You might be right.
No, put the pad on the plate itself, and then look at both of them together. No, the copper plate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, of course, yes. The copper plate is about a millimeter thicker. I don't know if you guys you know millimeters, so you guys probably do everything in inches.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm speaking with one of the guys that is a mod. Is basically a community modder in Discord for the product I purchased from this copper plate. So okay, right. I'm just going to keep trying to eyeball it because I'm trying to get the temperatures to be lower. If it increases or decreases by a bit, it's not a big deal. I can always put this back on. At the end of the day, the delta that I'm getting between the core and the memory is what's making me... I know it's within spec, right? I know like the memory could run at 100 plus and should be okay, but I don't like that the core is running at full is running no more than 30 degrees and then the memory is running at 100, even with a water block. And a crazy custom setup that I got. So it's like, I know it's okay, but if I can try to lower it, I will probably sleep better. You know what? I just thought about something. I could maybe leave the memory pads in there and use the copper, or should I? Do you reckon I should just use thermal paste?
Okay, I'm hitting the wrong button. I'd use thermal paste, no pads.
No pads, no? Not even for between the copper and the cooler, just thermal paste all over?
No, thermal
Okay.
paste all the way.
Okay.
You'll have much better compression that way.
Sure. Fair. Well, I'm gonna clean it up, I just wanna make sure that...
But as I was saying before, if you can get a thermal pad that'll fit underneath the copper plate,
yeah.
right where your right hand is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just checking to make sure that, you know, it works. I should have got some... Oh, do you know what I forgot, though? I forgot to get some tape. Some...
Captain. Yeah.
Some thermal... some non... Well, basically some non-electronic... Some electric tape. Oh, damn it. I should have some somewhere. I should have some. Just let me got some actual tape, because then I'm pretty screwed. I'm gonna cut this up. I'm gonna use the one that came with the actual block, the tape wise, because this is not standard thermal pads. These are like some weird pads that have like stuff inside them, like I don't know if it's silk or whatever.
It's fiberglass material.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look for. Thank you. The American comes to the rescue. Cheers, buddy.
No problem.
I'm not native like English wise. I'm Spanish. So
Oh, wonderful.
So I'm just trying to remember all this stuff that I've learned. You don't want to know what fiber optics in Spanish is. Right. Sounds nothing like it. Right, I'll be back in a sec. I need to get some tape. Get some tape. Let's get some tape. By the way, I know that it gets quite dark in the UK, and even with all the lights, it's not the brightest. So I know it's not great, video-wise, but it will have to do. Right, I'll be back in a sec. I need to go out of my room to find it. I don't know if chat can hear you, but you can keep them entertained. I think there's no one watching anyway. Alright. Okay, so...
I've got myself and someone else is in the YouTube video.
Oh crap! I forgot to mention. Yeah, I am live on YouTube. I completely forgot to tell friends and family. But you okay with them hearing you? Because I'm on Discord as well.
Oh, I have no care.
Okay,
I have no
that's
opinions.
fine. Just want to make sure. Wow, you didn't make this up. Fix electronics for a living, and I don't have any electronic. Any tape? Really, Dave? Oh wow! I completely forgot the tape. Well, this is going to be a short video then.
Personally, when I installed my 3080 Founders Edition, as well as my Kingpin, I did not use any Captain tape.
Right, but you used some tape, some form of something to cover it.
No.
Really? What, did you just went thermal paste?
Thermal paste to plate, and then thermal paste on top of the plate to the cooler.
Okay. Well, my eyesight is not great. After 5-6 p.m. my eyesight goes to shit, unfortunately.
I understand.
I should have done this at work. Should have probably done this because I got a microscope at work. But I don't know if the clearances on this. What is this? I'm guessing this is what 1 millimeter clearances between the copper and the joints, right? I'm guessing. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
less
about 1
than-
millimeter.
Yeah, I think so. Right. Okay. So, having said that, if I this is going to be a ghetto moment. I'm just going to flash the light there.
Oh, you're fine.
And let me see. I don't see any.
I think in the bottom right, it gets close. That's the only one I can think
I don't
of.
see any caps. Oh, let me see one.
Okay.
God, these SMDs are tiny as well. Oh yeah, I see them. Yeah, there's two. There's two SMDs there. There's one on the corner left. There is.
Are there any traces on the tops of those caps, though?
Traces? Hell, I won't be able to see that from here. Like I'll have. Okay, so
Oh no, I don't. I think they're just plastic on the top of those caps.
Oh, sorry. You mean are they are they actual? Are they?
Yeah, they won't.
SMDs,
They won't conduct
let me check.
anything.
Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. I can probably take a picture of these. Okay, right. So to the bottom right memory underneath the right bank, there is a tiny SMD, and then on the bottom memory, that is some weird ass shit layout, NVIDIA. Why would you? Okay, whatever. And then on the bottom one, there's two to the right, but there's enough clearance in here, so that's fine. The one on the bottom right is probably the one I'm worried about. On the top right, there is one that could touch, but I don't even know what. Let me zoom in. I am thinking, yeah, that's an SMD, right? Okay, what's the one on the left? The one on the left, there's nothing in the left. That looks like a tiny fuse. It's not. It's probably just a ceramic one. Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay, so I'm thinking, since I don't have any tape for whatever reason, maybe I can use some plaster or some.
Even a tiny bit of thermal paste would prevent the electrical conductivity. But I don't believe there are any exposed contacts on those chips
Yeah.
or on the caps.
Yeah, not the cups, but the tiny SMDs. I don't know. Well, let's try. Let's see how it sits once I fit this in. This can only go one way, which is great. Okay. Good shout on putting a tiny bit of thermal pad underneath the empty ray of underneath the BGAs where the memory would be, because that sits that's much more firm. And I tell you what, even with the recess memory, the nickel plated block has a little recessed, but not recessed. It's intrused, I guess. I don't know. That's probably a couple of millimeters. Just checking with the clearance on here. Could probably check it this way. It's probably easier with the light. Okay. It's not too bad because obviously the core is risen a little bit. Now I like to be quite abundant when it comes to GPUs in terms of thermal paste, nothing crazy. But with that memory being pushed quite down, I'm gonna probably have to increase the amount of thermal paste. Just so it can make some contact. Because otherwise this ain't gonna make any contact with the core, and the core is I'm gonna have very nice temperature on the memory, and the core is gonna be like 3 times the 2 times the actual temperature. It's like, oh, what's that? We heard that you didn't have any temperature issues with the core, but now we gave it to you because you cooled the memory. That's great. Okay, so this goes against everything I've ever done, ever, in terms of cooling, and I've been around the block. But I guess this is so weird doing this. You know, it's like I don't know. It's weird.
At H2 or H1 for the Noctua?
This is MX. This is MX. Oh no, it's not MX. This is no Arctic. This is Noctua stuff. Good eye. Damn, bro. What is this? This is an H1, I believe.
Okay. I believe that's a little thinner than the H2, so that's good.
3.5 grams thermal. Yeah. Yeah. Normally I use MX5 or I use Arctic stuff, but I did not have any at home, so I just grabbed this from work. So let's take out the old stuff. This is going to break apart. So we're going to use some plastic.
So the NVIDIA Founders Edition, it uses a similar thermal pad to the Alpha Cool.
Yep.
With the fiberglass in material on the inside.
Yeah, I just wish they added more and around the actual memory, because I've seen the 3080, the 3090 Founder Edition, and I told a lot of my friends, the ones that were lucky to get a 3090 Founder Edition, to make sure that they added a bit more thermal pads behind the plate, like I did here with the block. Because the Founder Edition, the first series of Founder Editions did not have it, and that's why the memory got so freaking hot. But I mean, it's dual buffered, right? It's got memory on both sides of the card, which whoever thought that was a clever idea, like Jesus. I think even the TIs don't have that anymore, because they just made the memory bigger, like they just add more memory to each side. And
what I like to use is a credit card or material like that to pull up the pads.
Well,
it doesn't tear them as much.
Yeah, well, this is a brand new screwdriver, and I thought it's clean, so it should come out easier, but it's not. Yeah, I tell you what, normal thermal pads come out much easier than this stuff, I feel. But it's not like I'm going to reuse it anyway. And this is nickel plated, so worst scenario, I could just use thermal plate straight on that anyway. So you would have thought Nvidia would have tested this with the copper plates they make for their all-in-ones, for their EVGA does, but because EVGA has their water-cooled ones have like a little copper plate already.
We'll say that the cooler or the Cool My GPU version for the NVIDIA or the EVGA hybrid, it does drop temperatures down significantly.
Wow, really? So even on those ones with the copper plate?
Yeah. So I have an EVGA XC3 hybrid, as well as a FTW3, as well as a Kingpin. And I've seen significant improvements with those.
It's almost like they skipped quality control on these cards before they got sold. Well, I don't blame the third-party companies. They don't have a lot of time when their GPUs get released. I blame Nvidia for not keeping their third-party companies.
I agree. Well, that, and you look at the way that they released them.
Yeah.
The core, or essentially from the VRMs in, is unchanged. It stays the same from the Founders Edition to everybody else, aside from small, minor details. Like Zotac has the black shroud around the core.
Right.
Oh, I gotta hop off to a work email. I'll be back.
No worries. See you in a bit. Okay, so okay. Oops, hit the mic there.
Work email over. That looks good. Personally, what I like to do is spread that paste prior to putting so it covers the entire chip surface.
Yep. Yeah. Just adding a bit. Sorry, I had a phone call to take, so I muted myself for a second.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. It just feels so wrong. Oh, maybe I thought the camera was brand new. It feels so wrong just putting thermal paste on like some random silicone. Okay. So I'm gonna add a bit more here. So
where how much you use on this side is going to be the same amount you use on the other side as well.
Okay. Really? Don't you want to put more here because there's more imperfections and the substrate is like significantly more bunkier than the piece of copper on the other side? Because this side is going straight to nickel. So
in an ideal world where everything was machined perfectly, sure. I would agree.
Right. I'm more talking about the bumps here, because there's going to be bumps between the memory. Between
Yeah.
the
There's
silicon.
a
You know
gap
what I mean?
between them.
So, yeah. Okay, so I have a perfect spatula kind of thing. Guys, people do not smoke. Smoke's bad. But Riesslers make perfect little spatulas. So let's start with the top one. I can put that over there. I don't need you right now. Actually, I'm not going to need you, so I can probably throw that stuff away. Little spatula. Oh, I need to use more thermal paste. Wow, this is not a lot of thermal paste on the silicon. Okay. This is not. Okay.
I believe in some of the testing we've seen, it's roughly, you can have a variance of up to 0.25 millimeters in the height size based upon the BGA profiles of the memory chip.
Of different 3080s or different 30 series in general?
Even on the same card.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, the BGA profiles are not great, are not well developed for NVIDIA's cores.
Yeah, well, I don't really blame third party. I don't feel like they have much time to get their stuff ready for release. So.
Yeah, you can't blame third party for that when the production itself is flawed from the onset.
Yeah, I think NVIDIA does everything they can to screw the third party, especially now that they're in the game of selling GPUs themselves. So. But it's nice chatting with someone that's techie as well. That's cool. So. Let's see how this looks. I definitely want thermal paste, right? Okay. Where's the thermal paste? God, I'm blind. Okay. Let's put. I need a bit more. I need a bit more there. I need a bit more there. Oh god, this just feels so wrong.
Wait until you go to clean it again.
Sure, right. Yeah, oh, I'm sure there's going to be tons of thermal paste between the memory that ain't coming out. I'm sure of that. I should probably make sure the whole silicon is covered. This is going to be basically me putting thermal paste on the die is the equivalent of me now covering the entire memory. Do we know what the TJ Max is on or the maximum temp or operational temperature is for GDDR6? Because I looked at
it is 105, or I'm sorry, 110C is the TJ Max for GDDR6 per micron spec sheet.
Right.
It was revised in May from 100 or 95C.
Yeah, because I was literally about to say, I remember looking at it and giving me a different number last time I checked. So I was like, well,
Micron revised it. I think it was March of last year.
If they can tell themselves, if they have to revision it or change it when it's not even been out for a year. Well, at the time, I remember checking it at the time. But you would think Micron would know, right? You would think Micron would know.
Something else to remember is the reported temperature from the temperature sensor probes is. I'm sorry, that's not the TJ Max. That is the T-Case Max.
Right.
That Micron reports. Micron does not report the TJ Max.
Right. That would be too difficult for them to figure it out. Oh god, it's going into the substrate. That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
This is not conductive, so it's fine. Whatever.
My concern is you might not have enough paste.
Well, not on the memories.
We'll check in a second here. What you'll do is you'll put the copper plate down and wiggle it just a little bit, putting a little pressure on it.
Sure.
And then pull the plate back off and see what the contact pattern looks like on the plate.
Okay, that's great. Just want to make sure it's all covered. Obviously, once the plate goes on top, it'll spread a little bit more. This is so funny. Let's do this. Okay. Make sure I do this without thermal paste in my hands, otherwise it's going to go everywhere. Okay, so I'm not sure how old you are, right? I'm on my 30s, let's just say. Do you remember?
I'm a few years older than you.
Okay, cool. So you definitely are my demographic, so you will remember. Do you remember back in the day when thermal paste used to be not conductive? Like when it used to be conductive and you would kill stuff? Back in the day, oh my god. Kids nowadays have it so easy. You don't even have to worry about thermal paste. If they use too much and it spreads about, I mean, it's a pain to clean it, but they shouldn't necessarily kill anything. I remember back in the day killing so many 6000 and 7000 series GPUs. Because my mates would go hard on the thermal paste without telling me. So I would go there with it like a brute and take the plates and the covers out and touch thermal paste everywhere and just like, oh great. Oh god, that was so funny. Thank god it's not. I tried to, you know what, I tried to Google not long ago about, trying to find conductive thermal paste. Not liquid metal, just to see if I could find some conductive and to buy, just to see like, oh yeah, this is the thermal paste I used to buy. You cannot find anything that's like conductive. Everything is like, not conductive. It's like, yeah, great, but can't find any reference to thermal paste at one point being conductive. Because all my mates are like, that's not a thing. It's like, yes, it was. You guys are young. Yes, it was. All right, let's have a look. I'm trying to put as much realistic pressure as possible because it's not going to go there. So, let's. Wow, this is.
It sticks.
Yeah, it does. Bloody. All right. Holy crap. I did not think this through. Do you know what's the worst thing is I added the thermal pad underneath the bit where the memory is missing, and that's also keeping it adhere quite a bit. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Okay, you have experience with this product. What would you say? That's enough contact? Or
that looks perfect.
Yeah?
That looks very good.
Alright, maybe I should worry a little bit about the right side, or in this case,
yes,
my left
side.
The
left side of the GPU left, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, well...
Just a little tiny dot on... Or a tiny line, like spaghetti, across the top of the...
Yeah, I need to go on, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I'm guessing they're doing crisscross on memory, or are they doing it like a rainbow? I can't remember how they do memory. Memory 2 and 3 a little bit more, yes. Thermal paste.
Yes.
Let's go.
Just a thin line across the top will be more than enough when you put the plate down.
Oh, you know when you put thermal paste on thermal paste and it doesn't want to stick?
It doesn't stick? Yeah.
yeah. Come on. There we go. And the bottom and the top one seem fine. I think the bottom one could do with a little bit more. Wow, I'm going to need that. I think I bought another one because I'm almost gone through all my thermal paste.
Yeah.
And there's just one.
I think I went through... I want to say 8 grams with my King pen, and about 6 grams with my 3080 Founders Edition. And that's only a 2.5 gram tube, I think.
Yeah. No, this is 3. This is 3. Okay. So dropping this is going to be a little bit more hard because there's thermal paste everywhere. I need to stop freaking out so much. It's just thermal paste. I can clean it. It's not metal.
Just don't scratch your nose. Don't scratch your ear.
Yeah. It's not,
with the thermal paste on your fingers.
It's fine. It's not a big deal, man. I'm sure I've eaten at least half a gram of thermal paste in my life. I'm sure. If I've not eaten it, I've at least inhaled it. That's for sure. It's just, I've killed so many things with original thermal paste when it used to be conductive that whenever I get it on me, it's like my instinct is just, cleaning it like straight away, which is obviously makes sense, but it doesn't kill anything anymore. So, you know what? Normally I would clean the core and I would also clean the block itself. But with the margin of spacing between the core and the copper plate, I might not, because I think I need thermal. You know what I mean? Like I need.
You need all that thermal paste that you
yes, I need what I've got. Yes, true, very well true. So, and I'll be back. I need to clean my hands. Sorry. Just hang up there.
Oh, you're fine.
Should have muted the mic, but this is live. We're doing it live.
Something I would suggest doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Draw an X with the zigzag. No, on the existing thermal paste on the core.
X. Oh, you mean on the actual die? Yeah.
Yeah, not with the current thermal paste, but I want you to take the wrapper. That way we can do a dry fit and check to see if the core is making contact.
Okay, so I should probably clean the.
No, don't bother cleaning it.
No.
No.
Okay. Alright. Maybe I can use this.
Yeah, you don't need to etch it or anything. You just need to pull a little bit of the paste back. That way you can see if it adheres more.
Sure.
It's something that you would notice, a pattern, if you will.
Sure.
Because I'm afraid that the core will be gapped at this point.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe underneath all that thermal paste on the block there is a recent surface. I doubt it, but
There's a possibility of that.
yeah, because
Let me see if I can.
I have had blocks actually. Yeah, if you could look up the schematics of the block, that'd be great. Because I know they are available. I have seen some blocks that do raise their surface of their core, but it probably isn't because most of those tend to be
I am
AMD.
checking right now.
Awesome. Thank you very much for checking. That would be great. And I think the reason for that is because AMD tends to have their substrate. Well, back in the day, back in the 6007, 8000 series, and their RX 200 actually, their die was diagonally. It wasn't parallel to the PCB, if that makes sense. So they used to raise their core on their coolers, on their blocks, so they would make contact. Having said that, I am going to try it with this plate. The only problem is this plate is silver, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm sure I'll be able to.
It does not look like they have a raised
No.
core.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Fair enough. So I'm just going to put pressure on the memory and not the core to get a proper realistic spread pattern. Because this wrapper, I don't know what this wrapper is made out of, but wow, that is stuck there. Okay, that's potentially good news.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's really.
That's a really weak spread.
And you think about the.
That's not a spread at all. That's making no contact whatsoever. Once I add thermal paste to the copper, if anything, it's going to raise
it higher.
Yeah. Don't think I have the machinery to lower that because that's just nickel plated. So as soon as I get into the nickel, it's just going to raise. It's just going to be copper underneath this.
If anything, there, I would look at finding a
Something
0.3
to-
millimeter shim to put on the core.
Yeah, something to raise the core, basically. Something in between. I need another plate for the core now. That's funny. That is
Yeah,
funny.
pretty much.
That is funny.
And you could try to bridge it with more thermal paste.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Remember, you also need thermal paste for the top of the plate.
For the top of the plate.
Yes.
Oh, you mean for... sorry, yeah, the other side. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, for the memory. Copper. Well, why? Come on, come straight. Don't be...
That's why I don't like to knock to a thermal paste. MX4, you can put paste on top of paste, and it works well.
Yeah, I normally use MX4 and MX5 RTX stuff, right? RTX cooler stuff. Yeah. Let me see how about to spray this. I mean, there's definitely.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I should have told you.
What?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I didn't put tones. I just wanted to make sure that it would go in there. Yeah.
That's much better.
Yeah, definitely. And with the X16 block, I believe because it is a wood block and it's a machined nickel-plated block of basically, what is this? I'm guessing it's some form of aluminium alloy or either aluminium or copper. I don't know what it is, but regardless, because it is a block.
It's alpha cool as copper.
Okay, so even better. Well, copper is more. Well, since it's a block, it should be significantly more robust than if we were to put a cooler on it. Because coolers they have a block too, but it's significantly thinner because it's got fins. It's got to use air to dissipate the heat. This is much of a block because it's a water cooler. So since it's a block, I don't want to pour all the liquid out because there's probably a little bit of liquid still in there, but since it's a block, that will make it so it will probably stick to the core easier actually if I load it up with thermal paste. But you know, the how we say in England, bruv, the test is in the pudding. So right, let's go with the memory. I'm going to cover the entire block, right? Not just where the memory actually is.
Oh, no, just where the memory is fine. There's no need to do more than that. The heat transference is pretty much straight through.
It's mostly so I can on the block, but okay, yeah, I guess you're right. There's nothing to cool there, so it makes sense. Okay.
And you're out.
That is, we're done with one. So that is done. There's another. Not sponsored.
Oh, wonderful! You do have more. I was concerned you did not.
No.
Okay.
Trust me, I got plenty. I didn't think it would need tons, but I did grab 4 boxes just in case. I just completely forgot to get the tape for whatever reason. I completely forgot to get the. What is that called? We call it heat resistant. What is
Captain.
That.
Captain tape.
That.
Or polymide.
Yeah. British swank, I call it. Right. Oh, this comes out so much better, so much easier. Yes. Let's go. Okay, let's spread. Okay. I'm worried that that tiny cap near the memory. Let's see. We will see. Is there an official, just for people that want to be able to do this in the future, or want to purchase the product on the website? Is there like an official manual set or recommendation? Because I noticed on the postage that I've got for this product, it was just the copper plate. There was like nothing, no paper or anything. So I'm just wondering. If
Oh, no
people can go
instructions.
through-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing yet, to my knowledge. I've
Fair
been requesting it.
Sure. It's more of a question than anything else, than a critique on anything. I'm just wondering.
No. It's a critique of mine, but
Sure.
I'm not
feel like-
paid. I'm just a volunteer.
Sure. I do feel like this is the kind of product you would subsell to maybe people that are maybe familiar with setting up blogs or with costume cooling. I'm not
I
sure
agree.
if this is something that you would want my 17-year-old cousin doing. You know what I mean? So I
Agreed.
kind of understand. Yeah, I kind of understand why you might not have form of documentation. But it would definitely would be nice to have it. But yeah, I think this is something someone like me or yourself would buy and do it ourselves for a potential customer. I just don't understand how Nvidia would have not been able to like check, because this is just GDDR6X. This is not just RTX 30 memory. This is memory they allocate for Quadro or Quattro series and higher A series GPUs. Those have a ton of memory. You would think, okay, people are going to be using this for GPU rendering, 3D rendering. We better check the memory temperature on this thing. I don't know. Very weird from Nvidia.
I think they were concerned about AMD's threat,
Right.
and they rushed the product to
Market.
the market.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I wouldn't be
69
surprised if the
series.
original versions that the AIBs were provided
Mm-hmm.
or designs were all based on GDDR6 rather than 6X.
It makes
And the
sense.
6X was a late in the game decision.
Yeah.
If you look at the way they handled introducing the 3070 Ti, to
Mm-hmm.
my knowledge, that's simply a memory swap. The memory controller remains largely unchanged as far as the architecture behind it.
Sure.
And in theory, they could potentially make a 3080 with GDDR6 as opposed to 6X,
Sure.
or a 3090 with GDDR6 instead of 6X.
Yeah, I do believe Nvidia has. Not sure if Micron. Jesus. If Micron was asked to allocate thicker memory, but the TI versions, I believe, have memory on one side only. So,
Correct.
and I believe there is a 20 gig version with just the memory.
No,
No? Maybe I'm wrong.
not yet.
16? No. Wait, I saw it. Maybe it was
I
16.
remember seeing that originally almost a year ago as being a option for a Dell laptop with a 3080 20 gig. But I have not seen anything in the wild, nor have I seen that as an option to order from Dell.
Okay, so it's not.
I think it
officially
was
out.
I think it was a false report.
Fair enough. Because their micro would need to make their memory more like their memory silicon would need to.
They would
be
need to use 2 gigabyte
more
modules.
dense. Yeah. I don't even know if they have those. No, they have to.
They do.
Because they have
they
to.
use
because, yeah,
The
the
2
A
gigabyte
series-
modules are used for the 3090 Ti.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. They have higher capacity GDDR6 GPUs, right? Nvidia has. Like for production and stuff like that, for 3D rendering, for professional. Well, for software professional work.
I think so. Yeah.
No, they have to.
They have
Because
the
I've
48
seen
gigs.
20. Yeah, I've seen 40 gig cards, so they have to. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely. Yeah. I just don't like the idea of splitting a PCB and putting memory in both sides of the PCB.
Oh, you have an
It's
active
just-
cooler on one side and you have passive cooling on the other? How's that going to work out for you?
Yeah, even if you had I'm sorry, but even if you had active cooling on both sides, I don't like that. in my experience, especially when it comes to rebowling and stuff, not only does it make it more difficult to do any repairs on it, it ends up just warping the board. And it's not even warping one side, it just ends up stressing and screwing up with the traces. Like, because you're adding so much, the PCB has to soak so much heat from both sides. One side is bad enough, right? Most PCBs are designed to soak heat quite well. But when you add heat to both sides, then you add an even heat to both sides. Because one side is always going to get hotter than the other. Always. Not every RAM module gets used at the same time. Or loaded at the same time. I guess if you're mining. But, you know...
No, mining actually is a low usage. That's most of the memory... It's the memory bus controller for mining.
Right.
That gets hot.
Right.
The memory itself goes through cycles.
Fair enough. It doesn't stay all in the same block, in the same amount of same silicon.
Right.
Except, for example, I don't know how big the DACs are. Are they, 4, 5, 6 gig by now? Do they all stay in one place, or are they constantly cycling through memory? I don't know if it's something that you know.
I don't know, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know that either. I'm just wondering, that's all.
Actually, at one point I attempted making a VRAM drive. You remember RAM drives?
Mm-hmm.
I made a VRAM drive on a 3090 to try to allocate that VRAM and then generate a DAG file on top of that.
Okay.
To attempt to cool or limit the VRAM usage.
Yeah, stress-free, like just try to remove the stress of the entire...
Right.
All the MOSFETs, right? All the chokes, really.
It didn't work.
Did not. Oh, that's a shame.
But it was a good theory.
It's
fun.
If you could... Yeah, that's one thing. I'm guessing that if you could... Obviously, there's both sides. So if you could check which side of the card gets loaded... I guess you probably could with a thermal... With a really, 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 really good thermal camera. You could probably check which memory gets loaded. Which VRAM modules get warm when mining or loading 3D rendering.
I think it varies from card to card, unfortunately. Similarly, how you have the two VGA pads that are open on the top left.
Right.
I've seen them open in various other spots as well.
Right. Okay. I would have thought they kept the design for most part. I guess you're right.
No, it changes.
That's so weird. Fair enough.
I think I'll see if I can find an old photo of one of my cards.
That just makes the production of this copper... What, would you call this a copper plate or shimmy? Or...
Yeah, it's a copper plate.
Okay, so it makes production of this copper plate for multiple revisions of similar models even more of a pain. Because you gotta make specific ones for, you know, for when the memory is on the bottom or in the top. Like, I don't know who designed that, but... Yeah.
I agree.
AMD has like a 16 gig model, right? The 6900 XT. I wanted to get that, but it was so hard to find to get.
The 6800, the 6800 XT, as well as the 6900 XT, all have 16 gigs.
Oh, that's gonna be.
And the thermal performance on those is outrageously low compared to NVIDIA's GDDR6 products.
Or X, or just 6 in general?
For all the AMD cards, the reference cards, the thermally they are wonderful cards.
Right.
They have a 10C delta between the core and the VRAM, and that's roughly 51 for the core, and then 60 for the VRAM. It's incredibly low.
And they use GDDR6, I'm guessing, right? Because 6S is only...
They are.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. So,
regrettably, I don't believe I have any pictures of a 3080 core.
I'm sure they have different designs and.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Depending on the
I just helped someone the other day.
Because there's going to be cars with like stronger power faces or just more like a stronger, beefier VRM for more. Well, I don't know. You can't even V-core. You can't even back in the day. You used to be able to add more to control voltage and core on the GPUs, but you can't even do that anymore. So I guess you do some stupid fucking excuse my language. Some
oh my goodness,
some silly choke shorting Or liquid metal chokes? No, screw that. I'm sure EVGA makes FTW or Kingpin versions are just ridiculous. And power input.
Oh, would you like to see a Kingpin?
Sure. I've not actually seen one.
I have 2.
Lovely. Let's have a look. Alright.
That is an example of a 3080 with a
Flipped,
different set of
yeah, I see it.
BGA.
Yeah, I see it. Why would you do that? That's so weird. If anything, the traces on the bottom is going to be easier to run and closer to power consumption. Why would you put two? If it was me, I would just not put any memory on top of the card. Like I would just put it on the sides or on the bottom. I have to rerun all those traces. Are so stupid design wise. Like I don't know, whatever. Yeah, yeah. I know. You know what it is. I'm only a network technician, right? I have a network engineering degree, but I barely use it because I rather work for myself and to repair electronics. But I did study PCB designs, and to me, that is unnecessarily difficult to run planes data power play. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you put 2 and 1 on each? Like, that's so weird. That is so weird, but whatever. Yeah, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah, if you look in the Kingpin sound off channel, you can see my double Kingpin monstrosity.
Okay, let's have a look. It's gonna go up. Oh, I see it. 28 phase VRM. 28 phase. 28 phase. What's 28 divided by 2?
14.
That is 14. That's so unnecessary, though. Like, what are you running? How much power are you running through that? It's only got two. It's only got two. Wait, it's only got two 8-pin connectors.
No, they have 3.
Oh.
Oh no. The 3090
Sorry,
Ti.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the 1090. That's what I was, because it's like 24 faces. Is like, okay, that's a net. Why? Just why? 28 faces. Why? Why? How much? Is this a 600 watt power supply? 600 watt graphic card? It has to be.
Yeah.
28 faces. 24 or 28. Sorry, 28.
I have run
Jesus.
640 watt.
I was
through
gonna
my graphics
say,
card.
why do you need so much? Why do you need such a strong VRM? Jesus, like so unnecessary. Fair enough. But can it even take 600 watts? Can you actually give any of that to the core?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have core control, V-core control.
Yes.
Okay, and is it more than 1.13 volts?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say. Okay, that's a Kingpin. Fair enough. Okay. I'm waiting for you to say no so I can be like, it's pointless then, but okay, fair enough.
Oh, the 3090 Kingpin is over-designed and wonderful.
No, that's fine. If you can control V-core, then you're gonna need a stronger face, and the stronger VRM or the more VRM, well, it's probably doubled. It's possibly 14, right? It's 14 double. They probably use doublets, but I don't know. I haven't checked the PCB design of that. Oh my god, my eyes are so bad. I can't even look at it properly. Like, no, screw that. I can't do that now. Yeah, no, that's 28. Yeah, even if they use doublets, even if they use the crappiest 28 faces, that still give you quite a bit of V-core control. And obviously, the silicon lottery will make an impact. But with 1.2 V-core, I'm assuming you can hit some crazy temps on LN2.
Even running, I run mine with hybrid coolers, all-in-ones.
Mm-hmm.
And while doing a Port Royal benchmark, I think I was hitting 40C.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I think the hotter this GPU gets when I'm doing what's the hottest stress? Because games don't really stress this graphic card. It's mostly when I do 3D rendering. Or mining doesn't stress the V-core either. Yeah, it's mainly when I do V-core when I do 3D rendering, or if I play, I'm just gonna test this. I'll take this out. Hopefully the plate sticks from the GPU and not the block, because then it's gonna be otherwise it's gonna be fun.
You'd be surprised.
Okay, but then I'm going to before I do that, let me put.
No, I just got.
Let me stick this back on the VR.
Oh yeah. That's a very good idea.
Wait, no, that's which? No, those are the chops. Oh, which? It's got to be this side then. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that should be it. Doctors, chokes, VRM. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, actually, you know what? I might need more light on this block, because this block does look like it needs a little bit of cleaning. What is that? That's God damn it, EK. Is it so hard? Is it so hard to be able to get pastel anything from any brand that doesn't leave residue behind? Like, it's impossible, isn't it?
What?
No brand has it. Every brand I've tried leaves, over time, particles behind. And
Yes.
it just stains the block and stuff. So I should have probably done this the other way around, to be honest, because in order for me to create some pressure here, it's going to be a little bit challenge. So let's lift the PCB and the block. It's fine, Dave. It's not conductive anymore. It's fine. Okay. Right, these ain't touching. Like, this is something's wrong here.
I think it's probably lifted it too far. However, there's a possibility it could still work. Are the retention bracket mount holes, are they going through? Can you see them? It'd be on the other side, on the back side. So the 4 holes that hold
but
the cooler.
Yeah. Oh, I dropped the cam. That's
Oh
good.
my.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to.
Oh, your video's out.
Yep. Okay. Let's turn the webcam. Let's turn the webcam back on. I pulled on the cable and the webcam went flying. Flying. Okay. Let's move this over here. There we go. Okay. So.
If you do choose to put those screws back in, do not tighten it down that much.
Sure.
It is the load is already high.
Yeah, just trying to see why the GPU is not aligning, it's not going down, because even if one side was pushing down, it's not pushing down evenly. There's something in the middle?
While you're here, actually, why don't you go ahead and take the block back off and see about a contact pattern on for the core.
The memory, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure the core. It has.
I'm more concerned about the core than the memory at this point.
Oh, this is stuck to the actual GPU.
Oh, wonderful.
Bad. That's not bad. I mean,
no,
it's consistent. Yeah, no. It's going up. Yeah, that's pretty good. So
I can live with that.
What's keeping this from? Oh, it's happening here. No, that's not. That's going down. So wait, what's keeping this GPU from? This block from?
So the height of the block, coupled with the height of the copper plate on the VRAM. Because if you look at the copper plate versus the pads that were on it that it replaced, the pads were what, 1 millimeter?
On the VRAM? No, way thicker.
On the VRAM.
On the VRAM? I guess it's 1 millimeter, right?
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
And if you think about the compression of that, it might even be lower than that. once they're compressed, they're even lower. Let's take a look at that real quick.
I don't know about that, you know. I don't
That
think
pad on the left-hand side does not look to be placed properly.
you're
On the
right.
far left.
Oh, and I'm leaking liquid as well, which is beautiful. Oh, wow. Yeah, I stuck the wrong thing in the wrong place. You're absolutely right. That might be why I wasn't fitting. So wait, where did this come from then? Because this is... I'm so blind. What time is it?
I don't
It's
see
9
where that
o'clock.
came from.
Yeah, neither do I. Let's put that for the time there. Let's put them there. Let's clean this a little bit because there's liquid everywhere. But this is
Yeah, if you have a
not
spare
compacted.
paper towel, put it in the hole of the water block.
No, you know what I do? I normally attach, like, I have some stoppers, but one of them came off. So that's why the liquid came
Gotcha.
out. Because they're not threaded 1.5 quarter, you know, 1.25 G or whatever the American. Goddamn Imperial! I don't know what the name of it is, but you know. It's
Well, we
not
had
the
a guest
same.
for a moment.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hello,
Bye.
Dre.
yeah. So I'm trying
Bye,
to see
Dre.
where that came from. Well, these are definitely marks for. That's a VR. This has VRM marks. Written
Right,
on
but
it. Where it
where?
came from, I do not know because that goes
You
there.
have them
Oh,
there.
I know. This is, but this is just for the. I don't need that. No, I don't need it. This is unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
Okay.
I don't need it. I'm pretty sure this came. Yeah, I think that might have been just there.
That
like
makes sense.
so, which again, no need, because these bad boys can get hot, and they don't even
Nope.
get bothered. So they don't even care about 100 degrees. I mean, it's not like they're gonna get to 100 degrees, but even if they did, it's like fine. So, oh, maybe no. Where? Okay, but I'll tell you what. I'm going to check the teeth marks, and by that I mean those aren't round. Those are definitely, they had to come from somewhere. Maybe here.
That's where you had it.
No,
And it
no,
was
that's
sticking
what I
up too
thought.
high.
Yeah, that's what I thought it might be. But there's some on the block already, so definitely not there. These are the same, right? Sorry, I'm so blind. They're both silvers,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so they're both caps, so that's fine. Don't need them for the caps. These are probably the cams, the transits, the ones for the power to the VRM, to the vehicle. So those don't get that hot either. And even if there was space, this is too long to be. This is too
No.
long to be there. No, I don't know where this came from.
Set it to the side. Nope, it does not go there.
The teeth don't much, do they? The teeth, no. Okay, what? Obviously, the block right now it's on the GPU, and ideally we want to see the other side to see how it's done, right? So I'm gonna take it off, put it back on the graphic card, on the PCB, and see how the how it's sat.
Paste pattern, yes.
Yeah,
I'm going to step away for a minute.
no worries.
I'll be... Oh. On the left-hand side of the block,
Yep.
you can see where it's very thin.
Well, yeah, that's because I didn't see it properly. So now without
Oh, that's
that,
right.
Yeah. I'm thinking now, when I put this back, this feels so wrong. Okay. Once I put this back and I do another sit test, it might sit better.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
No problem. Take your time. Alright. Let's have a look. So if I put this back in here. Okay. Alright. I'll put this Not since. I don't think I need that anywhere. Nope. That might have come from the back, you know. I just completely forgot. It might have even come from the back. Oh, this probably came from the back. Yeah, this probably came from the back. I'm a silly goose. Silly, silly goose. Silly goose. Like so. Oh, that's sitting way better. That is sitting way better. Okay, this is time for me to check how strong that is. And check, it's time for me to change the paper as well, because it's full of liquid and thermal paste and crap. So let's change that. Let's change that a little bit. Okay, that's good. Change that up there. Put that over here. There we go. Okay, now this is not staying there very well. Okay. Let's go back in there. That goes there. That goes there. Okay. Don't need any of these thermal pads. They're all full of thermal paste. Okay. So let's do a little test. Let's see what happens when I lift the block. Man, it is annoying that the copper plate stays on the actual water block and not.
That is a function of the surface that is adhering to.
Right. Well, it's nickel, so nickel's going to stick to the plate more than the copper is going to stick to the silicon, to the
Yeah,
memory.
well, there's no air gaps between the.
Yeah, true. Yeah, surface area. Okay. Well, I have to take it out anyway. So, by the way, I figured out where that thermal paste came from. Thermal pad came from.
All right.
From the back of the graphic card.
Makes
it's a
sense.
teeth mark. Yeah, the teeth mark. Yeah, back of the graphic card. Yeah, I completely forgot that I left it there, and obviously, you know what? Let me put it back in there so I don't miss it. I don't mess with it. I mean, again, unnecessary. The only reason I added is to keep the to keep the back plate somewhat rigid and straight, kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Yes. Now, let's try and get this without getting some paste all over the place, please. Oh my goodness, it's proper adherent though.
Oh, it's a vacuum seal.
Yeah, no, it's there. It's definitely there. Screwdriver.
No screwdriver. No.
No, there's a
Use
trick to
a plastic spud.
Okay, alright.
That way you don't scratch up the surface of your plate.
True, but I
or
mean,
the block.
That's what thermal paste is there for. I'm kidding. True. Oh no! Oh no! I should have lifted equally on each side. I forgot how malleable copper is. How is it to bend it is. Crap. Well, at least I know there's plenty of thermal paste behind it. I bent the copper plate a little bit, let's just say.
Yeah. It's not on the screen, but I can hear it in your voice.
Yep, you can probably tell. Come on. Okay, well at least I know there's thermal paste on each side properly. Yep.
Oh my.
Yep. Oh my. Indeed, oh my. This is going to be difficult to reapply. I forgot how strong thermal paste, how strong stuff gets when you have thermal paste, how much it adheres. The block still needs a little bit more thermal paste on the left side though. Apart from that, it looks pretty good.
That particular section,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at, yeah, right there, yeah.
Just a little bit though, nothing too crazy. I mean, I did pull from there, so. Okay. Now, what am I going to do about this? This is going to be nice mission. Okay, the only thing I can think of doing is going to be applying some pressure equally. And then letting the water block sit on it. So I'm definitely going to have to screw it down next time I put the water block on top, just to at least let the plate straighten up a little bit. Okay, so put the thermal paste on the right, a little bit on the left more. Okay. Nothing too crazy. That's plenty. If not, I can always put it on the block actually. Lovely. Okay, I am definitely never taking the block out of this. Okay. I'll tell you what I will do. I need a no, I do not. I need to put this down well once. There we go. That's what I need to do. Right, I'll be back in a sec. I'm just going to clean my hands.
Okay.
Screwdriver. Alright. Right, hopefully, once I screw the card down a little bit, it will help retain, it will help the copper plate straighten out a little bit, hopefully. Obviously I shouldn't tighten it too hard, too much. Alright. So I just realized that this thing needs to come off. This is making my life difficult. Why do you have to use 9mm hex? Of course, you gotta use 9mm hex. This is gonna be fun. That is not fun. Okay. Come on. Super wore gloves for this, you know?
They are helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking. If I use something soft. If I can align the GPU. This is way more hard this way. or not. Okay. Try to cool this time. I really should have done more tools, my different tool bag. I haven't said that. And just turn. Look how much easier it is. That's the trick. What did we do earlier? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's go back into the GPU. Well, if I was worried about thermal paste going everywhere around the core, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Because it's there now. Don't have to worry about that anymore.
We are in pursuit of lower temperatures,
Greatness.
not cleanliness.
True. We are in pursuit. We're in pursuit of greatness. We're in pursuit of GPU not making me crazy. And again, this is not because it's really overheating. This is within spec, but I'm just not happy that that is apparently within spec. Like 95 degrees
With
is not.
lower thermals, you can overclock it further and increase power further as a result. By the way, you said that was a Vision?
Yeah, OC. Yeah, gigabit.
Was it originally? I don't remember the power connectors being on the end like that.
Yeah,
That
it's weird like that. Yeah.
No, that's the same way my Kingpin is.
Yeah.
I have the power connect. I have 3 power connectors on the end of my Kingpin.
Mm-hmm. I hate
Versus
using power connectors. I hate them. Hate them with passion.
Really?
But yeah, I don't like
I
them.
prefer them like that.
I mean, I like that they're oriented that way. I just don't like the connectors themselves.
That makes sense.
Sorry. Yeah, I should clarify that a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, so there is a little bit of play and covers the entire block, so that's good. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do.
So when I assemble, I like to put the cooler down
Mm-hmm.
and lower the PCB and plate on top of that.
Yeah, normally what I tend to do is I tend to put the block on top, and then because the block that I put on doesn't have a fitting on it, I can just put the box where the water block came underneath it, and and screw it. But unfortunately, this fitting does not want to come off. This fitting is pretty. It's pretty stubborn. What can I use to remove this? EK uses 9, not 8, not 10, 9mm hex to remove them. So thank you, EK, for using such a asinine size.
It's EK or is it Alpha Cool for the?
No. Oh wait, no, these are EK fittings. EK fittings. EK.
Okay.
EK fittings. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so I'm just going to screw them from underneath. You might be thinking, wait, how? You can't see the hole from underneath? It's like, I can feel it. So, that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Yep. I'm hoping that the block doesn't bend the GPU with that, because obviously that additional copper is going to add a lot of stress to the die, I'm guessing. So a few turns, let's just say, right?
Yes. Don't tighten it down too much. That
Yeah, no,
could
I'm
put
not
it in
going
danger.
to. Yeah, I think I did not lose that much thermal paste, Lee Cox. So thank you for the suggestion. But I think thermal paste, it is not our worry now. I think, I mean, I took out the the plate earlier. Alright, so first screw. Am I screwing you in the right place? I mean, you're going. Oh, wow. What? Additional light, let's have a look. Yeah, no, that is going. Okay. That I cannot feel any difference between me adding this copper and not. Like, the screw goes into the PCB perfectly fine. So
Oh, wonderful.
I'm guessing there's a lot of play. Oh, the screws are quite long, one or the other. Yeah, we crochet. Yeah, that's going in fine. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna
Okay,
tighten it.
I want to make sure you don't put too much pressure on it. That's
Yeah. I'm not gonna tighten it super tight. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do that. Not going to do that. What I will do now is now they can stand up. Attach two, so I can do the rest. And I'm thinking whether I should actually put the backplate on it, because I just want to test it, check the temperatures on it. Okay. And the last screw. Okay, that plate, even though it's a little bit bent, that top plate, even though we bend it a little bit, removing it, that has to be straight when I put these screws. Because even though it's got a little bit of play, I've had no resistance or issue fitting the block back to the GPU, to the PCB, through the holes, and the PCB is not even, it's like straight, like it's fine. If anything, yeah. Let's bring some light to this. Yeah, that's the block all right there. That's the copper shim there, on the plate there. And then let's look underneath. Yep, that's the single memory chip there by itself, lonesome. Yep, that's good. Okay. Oh, more liquid. Okay, let's just empty this. Come on. You know. Okay. There. Let's throw this away. Let's keep this straight if we can at all, please. Straight. And now, okay. Right, I am now debating whether I should stick the backplate. I think I'm going to actually. I want to get some consistent testing done, and it's not fair if I don't get.
And what I would suggest personally is leave the back plate off,
Really?
test it. If you aren't happy, you don't have to remove the back. Well, the back plate was what? 4 screws?
The backplate was a couple of screws. It wasn't a big deal. It's mostly because
Yeah.
I know that adding thermal pads behind the memory does significantly help compared to how it was before. So I want to be able to fairly test it.
Okay.
I want to be able to test it and get some.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Get some consistency while testing. Okay, well this is definitely going behind the chokes. The chokes don't even. Oh come on, man! This bit doesn't even get hot. Whatever. I'm adding it so to create mostly because this plate is massive, so I don't want it to bend or anything. So I'm mostly doing that so it doesn't bend all over the place. The holes line up like so. And yeah, it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. Long screws, not a big deal. Not a big deal. marked where they went, because I know they don't go through every surface, but too late now. Alright. And what I'm going to do, I might call my mate to give me a hand with the putting of the GPU back into my custom block, into my custom system. It shouldn't take too long. I just mostly need to refill it. Oh, one more. Oh, it's all the screws. Never mind. I'm a silly goose. Why I thought I didn't need all the screws. Makes sense. Okay. That's dancing. That's better. Okay. Lovely. That's dancing. Okay. PCB does look a little bit bent. Nothing crazy. I have definitely had PCBs
excited
that is way more bent than this, trust me. Even with the stock cooler. It's mostly because they added pressure for the back plate. But this looks fine.
I'm excited to see the results.
Yeah,
Keep me
we'll
posted.
See. Yep. Okay. So I need to change. Okay, I need to change this one. With this fitting. Come on. That's good. Alright. Okay. Alright guys, whether it works or not, or whether the temperatures are horrendous or not, I think I'm gonna call it a night for YouTube anyway, for the stream, because this has been quite boring. I thought I could do it fairly quickly, but I forgot how messy thermal paste can be. So thanks for watching, and obviously I'll try to edit this a little bit better and try to keep as much info as possible. So
Wonderful. Thanks for being guinea pig.
yeah.
Hang it
Great.
out.
Thank you for not just hanging up and thank you for not just hanging out and helping me out, but thank you for your insight. That's been really grateful and really useful. And thank you for keeping me company. That's actually pretty useful.
Hey, my pleasure. Have
All right,
a wonderful
guys.
evening. Cheers.
Sure. Take it easy. Have a good night.
Bye.